Hey guys, it's Emma here, and in today's video we're going to be doing sort of just a quick video talking about sort of the gas issues that are happening on the canal at the moment, and they're going to be brought by my mum, who's going to be talking about the information today. But let's go.
So hi, this is one of my rare appearances, but this was a bit of a complex issue and I didn't want Emma to sort of deal with it on her own. So essentially we use Calor Gas in bottles, and Emma will put insert a picture of what we have, and we use it for our cooking, and we also use it for heating water. We also have 2 bottles, and then when one runs out, we replace, we try and replace that bottle reasonably quickly, so that we've always sort of got a spare. We're actually fine at the moment. We've got a little bit in one bottle, and then we've got a full bottle, so that would probably last us maybe another sort of couple of months. And we do sometimes get our gas from marinas, but we also do try and support the fuel boats. Now the fuel boats are great. They come along and they can give you coal and kindling and gas and diesel, and it's just a great way, particularly for people like us who haven't got a car, to get access to the fuel. And it's good for the environment. We don't need a car because we can have a lot of our fuel delivered. We don't need to necessarily move. They sort of come to us. They have certain routes, and we kind of know when they're going to be around, so we've always sort of tried to support them, and the marinas, that when we're passing, if we need to sort of have top-ups, then we can go into them as well. So recently there's been a problem with people getting access to new gas bottles, and people are running out and struggling to sort of cook, and apparently the problem is, I'm not a huge expert on this situation, but apparently it isn't that there's a shortage of gas. There's been a shortage of the bottles being refilled by Calor Gas. Obviously, sort of during lockdown, I think they were declared as sort of essential services. Obviously, people like us rely on their, it's not just for having a barbecue in the back garden. We rely on this sort of gas for our cooking and for our hot water. So I think they were sort of declared as sort of essential workers. And I think also one of the other problems is that lots of people have been probably having patio heaters outside, or wanting to do more socializing outside, and I think pubs and things have been having more kind of patio heaters, and obviously that's great, and we don't want to sort of stop people having fun, but I think we do some in the boating community. We do feel that maybe we need to be sort of prioritized as liveaboards, because we haven't got other ways of cooking our food short of putting a barbecue out on the towpath, which in itself is going to cause problems. And I know that some of the fuel boats have been contacting Calor Gas on a daily basis, just to sort of get more supplies, and not being able to get their supplies, particularly to vulnerable liveaboards, and it's usually the liveaboards who rely on the fuel boats. And my impression is that they sort of feel like they're being sort of slightly fobbed off. I did actually send a tweet to Calor Gas just to say, look, what's the sort of situation? And their response was just, which was nice and sort of standard, but there don't seem to be sort of solutions in place. So we don't want to seem like we're being really sort of overly critical of a company, and obviously companies are allowed, if they make more money selling to garden centres, or for people to just have sort of barbecues in their back garden, and obviously every company's allowed to make that sort of decision. But one of the reasons we were able to lock down so effectively, particularly in the winter, was because we all relied on the fuel boats. We were in a place where we were near a water point, and we could get access to shops, so there was absolutely no reason for us to move, because there was, rather than lots of boats moving to get fuel, all we needed was one boat that travelled, a route every sort of usually once a month, and we were all able to sort of stock up, and therefore people who were shielding and people who wanted to comply with all the rules were able to do really easily. And our concern is that if the fuel boats, who are now sort of struggling also financially, because they obviously make money selling the kind of Calor Gas bottles to the boating community, if they start going out of business, and if there ever was another lockdown, it's just going to end up with more and more boaters having to sort of move in order to get these services, when actually it was a really great system, and it is a system that a lot of boaters really rely on, as I say, particularly in winter. And we want to support the fuel boats, We don't want to see them go out of business. We don't want to see vulnerable boaters not being able to cook their food and, or cook hot food. I mean, you can maybe survive on sandwiches for a couple of weeks, but if you're kind of an older person or you've got health needs and, and you can't have a warm drink or you can't, have a warm meal, then I kind of think that Calor Gas need to sort of take that into account. So I suppose our message is to Calor Gas, please, you don't want to have problems, and we're all right at the moment, but we know other boaters aren't. Please just have a rethink, see if there's some way of prioritizing liveaboard boaters and the fuel boats, just so that particularly if we go into winter, that we're not going to have problems when this is just some sort of a logistical problem. And maybe you need to just, we're not a huge community. I don't think it would take a huge amount for a big company like Calor Gas just to kind of like say, well, okay, let's make sure our fuel boats are stocked up. Let's make sure the marinas have got them, just so the really small number of people are kind of able to eat hot food and have their hot drinks. And what am I like if I didn't have a cup of coffee? Yeah, it's not, Emma wouldn't, it wouldn't be good if I couldn't have my hot cup of coffee in the morning. So yeah, just a quick plea, please, Calor Gas, try and sort this problem out. I'm sure you're a big company with lots of logistical solutions, and I'm sure you'll find a way to get us our gas.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I do a video, and comment on my social medias, my Patreon and my Gmail, thenarrowboatgirl@gmail.com, if you have any suggestions for me. And I also do have a canal post address if you'd like to send me your letters. But yeah, see you later. Bye!